Hello, progressive women, and welcome to our space for women like you and I, women who are in our prime, are unblocking, realigning, and progressing our deepest desired lives that we love. And we're doing this by encouraging it imperfectly, especially in the area of intimacy, romance, and private, intimate relationships. That's an area that we progressive women could use some help. And that is why in the last video I'd asked you to please invite me into a conversation or an area that you like to hear my comments or you like me to give my input. And you sent me the emails, and thank you so much. And one of you sent this email. Let me just click on it now. And I will not name her name. I will not say her name her name. I will not say what her name is because it was an email, and that means that she wanted to keep her identity confidential. But here is what she has to say. Please talk about living single and successfully. As a 49-year-old single lady, I have reached a space where I am very comfortable with who I am. Society in general can be demeaning and condescending of single women, and this can be exhausting. Thank you so much for asking that question, or rather inviting us into this conversation. How do women respond to women who are in their 40s and 50s and 60s and they are single, but it is out of choice? They are content. Some of them do not even want to have children. How should they respond when society starts to give them pressure? And I thought the way to answer this question is to give an example from my own life, because I got married last year in my late 40s, and that means I had lived single for most of my adult life. And yes, in my late 20s, I had some pressure about getting married and having children. And this pressure, most of it was self-imposed. I must own up to that. No one was pressurizing me. But I was looking at the world around me. Women had gone to college with young women who are now getting married. For some of them, I was in their lineups or in one wedding or the other wedding. Then this one has had a child, the other one has had a child. And I was beginning to feel, oh, I can't reach 30 before I am married. But it was self-imposed pressure. Then there's societal pressure as well, where you're asked by some of your aunties, when are you getting married or when are you settling down? But something happened for me and in me about the age of 33. There was a shift that happened. One, there was a deep yearning for life meaning for me. And that's when I started really pursuing the meaning of life. And in pursuing the meaning of life, of course, I came to faith. I came to give my life up to Christ. And I had even a deeper yearning to grow spiritually. But in the process, I started to also pursue what is the meaning of my life, not just the meaning of life in general, but the meaning of my own life. So two things became important for me, two questions became very important for me to be able to answer. Who am I? And what is my life about? And I started committing and immersing myself into the pursuit of answering those two questions. And in the process, of course, you begin to get clues and hints about purpose. And I began to work with women and with girls. And my purpose became so amplified that the question of whether I was married or not began to fade or began to diminish. And so what worked for me then is just the amplifying of my purpose. And I was completely content and at peace with where I was at and who I was. In fact, my life was so complete that people didn't see like there was anything missing in it. My family celebrated my life as it was and accepted the way it was. My friends, and they actually even admired it because, and it's true, it wasn't pretense. It wasn't that I was trying to fake it till I make it. No. I literally loved my life. I had come to accept and appreciate and live my life to the fullest. Because I said, if I have to, at some point, share this life with someone someday, then it must be complete and full life that I want to share with someone. It's not a half life. It's not a quarter of a life. So to answer your question, I will say this to you. You really don't owe any explanation to someone or to anyone about how you have chosen to live your life. You really don't, except you being at peace with your Maker, with God, and going out to pursue the life that you feel and sense that God has asked you to pursue. When those questions come up, should they come up, you can say to someone, I'm perfectly okay, or I'm okay as I am. But what I realize is that the more content and the more I settled into my own life, the lesser and lesser that question came up. And people just started to just ask me questions regarding my purpose and how I was pursuing my purpose. And but I had to be completely content. I have to say to you that I had to be completely at peace and at ease with where I was at. Now over to you, this great community of progressive women. For those of you in your 40s and 50s and 60s, how are you dealing with societal pressure on this question about being single? How are you answering it? Why don't you respond by posting a comment below so that other women in this community can be able to benefit from your thoughts or from how you're handling it? Let's become iron sharpening iron. Let's share our perspectives because we enrich one another that way. So with that, remember this: everything that you've been through, every experience, every rise and every fall has prepared you for your next chapter. What you need to do is start where you are and keep progressing imperfectly. Why? Because you, my sister, are a bold, blessed woman. We'll see you next time. God bless you.